shoots, and it's good. And the score 24-33. Maysville on the attack. Sturgis gets set for shot, gets it away, and it's no good. Bounces off there, rebounded by 22. Back over, he loses it. Buddy Gilvin gets away a shot, it's no good. Shoemaker takes it off this time, back into Buddy Gilvin in the foul circle, but Jack Thompson, as he tries to get away another shot, says, that's the jump ball, boys. You were tied up there too closely. So Gilvin and Seagarman jump there, and the tip-off goes to White. White starts driving down, gets away a shot that is blocked nicely. Well, it looked nicely, at least from here, but the referee said that it was a foul against Bobby Orms. Orms went up in the air, and it looked from the air as though it was a very good block. But, of course, we can't see as much as the officials, and they're right down there on the court, right under the plate. So White draws one free throw, and here's the shot. It's up in the air, and it's good. And the score 26-33. He's been given 2 shots. 25-33. There's the second shot, and that's also good. And that does make it 26-33. A 7-point lead for the Bulldogs. Orms has the ball now across the mid-stripe into Cook. Cook gets away from his man, gets away a one-hand shot that's good. And the score 35-26 in favor of the Bulldogs. White handling it now, up in the front court for the Greenies. He gets a set shot, it's no good. And he was fouled by Gus Sturgis as he reached across trying to block that shot. So there'll be 2 free throws for number 11, White, and that is the 4th personal foul on Gus Sturgis. Here he is with the first shot. It's up in the air, and it wobbles around. It's no good, but they didn't give him the second shot, and it was rebounded by Seagarman, and that one did count for 2 points as he put it in there. We all thought there were going to be 2 free throws. One of the referees held up 2. The other one held up 1. Sturgis is replaced now by Toll. Gilvin tosses the ball into Toll. Back to Gilvin across the mid-stripe. In the center to Bobby Orms. Bobby Orms shoots. It's no good. There's another shot. It's no good. Shoemaker takes the ball off and shoots from the side of the court, and it wobbles around. It's no good. Rebounded by Neal, who tips it over to White. White across the mid-stripe for the Scotties. He goes up in the air and shoots one, and it's good. And the score is 35. Just 5 points separate these 2 teams. And there's about 5 minutes left in this 4th quarter. In the front court with Orms and Shoemaker handling the ball. Shu has it now. He's standing right here in front of the bench. Back to Orms. Orms holding it momentarily, starts driving in and shoots one-handed. It's no good. Buddy Gilvin tips it. It's no good. And Shoemaker tips it in for the second rebound. That is good. And the score now 37-30. A 7-point lead. Here's White up in the front court, and that boy really drives. But he gets away a shot that's no good. He was fouled before he got up to the bucket to take a shot. And the foul is on Toll. There'll be just 1 free throw. I'm sure of that this time. And the ball is handed to White. He bounces the ball. There's his shot. It's up in the air. It wobbles in there. And the score 31-37. 6-point lead now. Here's the pass into the front court over to Chachi Toll. Back to Gilvin. Gilvin at the head of the foul circle takes a one-hand shot. It's no good. They have missed a great many shots tonight. There's a tie-up underneath the basket. And there's a foul on Shoemaker there as White comes out of the tie-up there. The foul is called on Shoemaker for reaching across the shoulder of White. And White, this boy that has been shooting free throws quite regularly here, and he makes them also, steps up to the free throw line, takes the ball from Litchfield, bounces a couple of times, looks at the basket, lets go, and she's good again, 32-37. That boy White can really hit those free throws. Now Orms has the ball over to Gilvin, back to Orms, and Orms dribbles in, passes over to Cook, and Cook shoots one-hander underneath the basket. A nice pass by Orms to Cook, and the score is 39-2. A pretty shot, but even a prettier pass. Now White has the ball for the Greenies. A long pass into Neal underneath the bucket. He spins and shoots. It's no good. Rebounded by Cook, and Cook is fouled by Egarman as he comes off that board with the ball. Egarman landed on his back, and the foul is on Egarman for coming down on Cook's back. So Cook steps up to the other end of the court to take his charity toss. He'll be handed the ball by Jack Thompson. He holds up one finger, showing 1 foul. Cook bounces the ball, set, and shoots, and it wobbles in, and the score 40-32. 8 points. Now here comes White driving all the way into that bucket. Gets away a shot, no good. Rebound by Shoemaker. A long pass down to Cook underneath the basket. That is good. As Cook goes up in the air. That pass from Shoemaker to Cook was the entire length of the floor. Now 77. Garman has the ball for the Scotties. He's across the mid-stripe. Over to Neal. Back to Spencer. Spencer dribbling into the far corner. Can't quite get a shot away from Shoemaker, who's guarding him. He passes into White. White does get away a shot. It's no good. Rebound by Shoemaker. Over to Cook. Over to Orms. Underneath them. It's 2 points. Nobody around at all. And with that, there's a substitution. Here comes Gus Sturgis back into the game. And Chachi Toll will be replaced by Gus Sturgis. Chachi Toll is leaving the game. Sturgis replacing him. And there's a substitution for the Scottsville team. Horace Williams comes into the game to score, as I said a moment ago, 44-32. It looks to me, from that clock, which I can hardly read, that there's about 4 minutes left to play. Forrest Williams has come into the game for the Scottsville team, and E. Garman has left. The crowd is beginning to disperse now. They figure, I suppose, that there isn't much chance for the Scottish anymore, but anything can happen in this basketball game today. It's happened all day long. London upset Corbin, as you know. Corbin had beaten London twice during the season, but today London came back strong and beat Corbin by 21 points. It seems unbelievable, and the people around here are still shaking their heads, wondering how it happened. But those things do happen. Now here comes the... This is Post Closer, George H. Frank Company, 25 West 2nd Street, Maysville, Kentucky. Maysville has jumped into a 12-point lead. It's Maysville 44, Scottsville 32. The fans must see the handwriting on the wall because they're beginning now to file out. We see quite a few empty seats here. The Maysville cheer section, though, is still going strong. Now here's Mr. Lockoff to bring you the play-by-play description. Thank you, Bill. While we still have a few seconds before the official timeout is out, let me tell you a little about that Brewers and Clark County game. As I stepped back to the bench here during the half, I heard Bill Betts and Joe Gillespie talking about it. The score, as you may have known, was 15-11 at the end of the first quarter in favor of Brewers. And then Clark County came back very strong at the end during the second quarter, and they were on top 34-30 at the end of the half. I know that was the only time during the entire season of 1947-48 that the Brewers were behind at the end of the first half. At the end of the third quarter, it was 43-41 Brewers, and of course you've heard the score, the final score, 63-59 in overtime. Here comes Gus Sturgis as the horn sounds up to the free throw line to take his two charity throws. He bounces the ball before his first one. He steps and he shoots and hits the front end of the rim, and it's no good. The ball bounces back to him. Jack Thompson hands it to him. He bounces it several times, getting set for his second one. There's the shot. It's no good either. Rebounded by Shoemaker, who tries to get away a shot. It's no good. And taken off by White. White comes up across the foul circle and drives. And he's fouled by Gus Sturgis, and I believe that's the fifth personal foul on Gus Sturgis. Yes, there's the buzzer, and pretty soon the official scorer will raise his hand and say 5 fouls. And here comes Shotzi Cole to replace Gus Sturgis. Gus Sturgis leaves the game charged with 5 personal fouls. Now White has stepped up to the free throw line. He's handed the ball, and he gets set for his call. Here it is. It's in the air. It's no good. Wobbles around. Rebound by C. Garman. It's no good. Rebound by Neal is no good. And 5 boys are tying it up under there. And finally there was another shot went up in the air. It wasn't any good. And Litchfield comes battling out there. Thompson comes battling out there and says it's a jump ball between Shoemaker and C. Garman. There's the tip, and it goes over to Cook for Maysville. It's taken away from him by Spencer. And then White let's see, Shoemaker tie it up there as the ball rolls loose when Spencer knocks it out of his hand. There's the tip, and it goes over to Gilvin. Gilvin down to Cook. Cook gets away a one-hand shot, and it wobbles in. And the score will be 46-32, a 14-point lead for the Maysville Bulldogs. The Greenies across the mid-stripe into C. Garman. C. Garman has it underneath the basket. He gets underway for a shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Shoemaker, and I believe that he was fouled by Neal as he tried to come out of there. Yes, the foul is on Neal. The loudspeaker in the distance corroborated my belief. Yes, foul on Neal. And Shoemaker comes up to the other end of the court to take his free toss. He steps up to it now, and Jack Thompson eyes the other boys as they line up on either side of the free throw line. Now he hands the ball to Shoemaker. He's shooting overhand, one-hand shot. There's the shot. It's good. And the score is 47-32, a 15-point lead, and it looks like the game's in the bag now. Here come the Greenies up into the front court. A pass down to Neal, and Neal is fouled by Shoemaker as Shoemaker tries to beat the pass to Neal, and I believe that's the 5th personal foul on Shoemaker. Yes, there's the buzzer in the distance, and the loudspeaker says 5 personal fouls on Shoemaker. And let's see who will replace him now. Eddie Taylor's coming into the game, number 14 for Maysville. Comes in, he reports to Litchfield, and 44, Neal, the boy on whom the foul was committed, steps up to the free throw line to accept his charity toss. And he shoots, and it's no good. Rebounded by White, and it's good. And now Maysville puts it into play. Orm over to Toll, over to Orms again, and over to Gilvin, now to Toll. Toll into Taylor in the foul circle, back to Cook. And Cook dribbles around here now at the head of the foul circle, back to Shotzi Toll. Toll into Orms on the far side of the court. Over to Eddie Taylor, back to Orms. Orms gets away, shot no good. Taken off by Gilvin, shoots over his head, no good. Rebound by Orms. Back out to Shotzi Toll, and boy, he dropped it in there for 2 points. And I heard some folks around here saying, ooh, as he was fouled, or at least looked like it. Here comes the Greenie back on attack. They come down, and White drives the complete length of the floor and gets his way a shot that's good. And the score now 49-36. White came down the full length of the floor and dropped that in for 2 points. Now Orms is in the front court for Maysville. He passes over to Toll, over to Gilvin here in front of the bench. Gilvin tries to step aside of his man, unable to do so. Passes into Taylor, back to Gilvin. Gilvin does step away from him this time. Back to Taylor, but Taylor wobbles and bobbles the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds to the Greenies. Here comes Pettigo back into the game for the Scottsville Greenies. The substitution, Pettigo, and here comes also Egarman down the floor, and 55, Horace Williams. Horace Williams is the boy that came in. He came in, and so did Pettigo. No, Horace Williams has walked off the floor. Apparently he's got a limping foot there, and the Greenies put it into play. 77, Garman has it now. It passes over to White. We got mixed up on those substitutions there. There were 2 of them came in, and only one of them actually entered the game. There's a shot by the Greens. It's no good. A rebound by Spencer, and tied up by Bobby Orms, and they'll jump it down in the near side of the far court. There's the tip, and it goes over to 99 to Spencer after the touchdown. He gets away with that shot, and it's good. And the score will be 39-49. A long pass down.